It is a huge honor today to be interviewing a legend in my mind and a legend in the minds of so many American dentists, Stefan Klinge. Did I pronounce that right?
Oh,
Stefan Klinge?
yes,
And let
that's
me
right.
let me read your bio. Stefan Klinge is a general dentist with a specialization in endodontics out of northern Germany. He started his career at the University of Erlangen, Nurenberg in 1996 and switched to his own dental office in 2001. He developed
Yes.
his amazing skills in endodontics since then, with several continued education programs, national and international. Since 2009, he shares his knowledge on Roots, Dentaltown, and other online platforms with the help of videos that explain his approach to endodontics. In this time, he became a semi-professional filmmaker, not only in terms of endodontics, but also in terms of corporate videos for his office as part of his practice marketing and other dental professionals. He is a strong believer that online education is the future. Stefan, the other day, I posted two of your videos on Dentaltown. If you go to YouTube, how do they find your videos on YouTube?
Oh, on YouTube, they can type on Stefan Klinge or Endodontics or whatever. You will find me on YouTube with this topics.
How many videos have you posted on YouTube?
Oha, I don't know. That's a huge one. I don't know how many I posted on YouTube, but in the last few years, I don't know exactly, but many of them, because online education is, for me, is the future, because you can see what I do, you can see or what are the problems, and you can see how I solve problems. I think it is better to show the people how to do it instead of write it down on any platform.
Do you know how to share a YouTube video on Dentaltown? When you have a on a message board, there's actually a YouTube icon, and
Yes,
if you go to the YouTube video and click share, there's the link or there's
yes.
embedded, and if you drop that embedded into the YouTube icon, the video just pops up just like it does on YouTube right on Dentaltown. But I am a huge fan of you. I'm a huge fan of your videos. Are you filming all of those
Thank you.
through a microscope?
Yes, I filmed it through a microscope and with a camera. I started with a DSLR camera, and especially this one.
What is
I
it?
have mounted. This is a Canon.
A
This is a
Canon?
Canon 550D. It's a T2i in America. And I started with that one, and I changed to a Sony A6000 about 1 year ago, because the Sony has more capabilities for a low light resolution. So you have the problem that if you look in deep in the canal, you have the problem that you have not enough light. Especially with my microscope. Okay, I have a microscope with an LED light source, and some colleagues have here a xenon light source. But with LED, you haven't got the power of the light that goes deep in the canal. So you have to solve that problem with the camera. So the camera, the Sony A6000, has a very good low light capabilities, and so I can look into the canal deep inside, and so that's the reason why I changed. But I make it with the microscope, and I record the videos with the microscope, and I edit it afterwards with some comments, with some narration after it, and I think the people are thankful for it. Even it is sometimes it is not very complicated, but for beginners, for students, even for professionals, it has some hints and tips how you can solve some problems.
So are you in a? you're such a videographer, filmer, producer. Like how am I even seeing you now? You look like a black background. Is that a? Are you in a dark?
Yes, this is my black wrap here. That is a black curtain because I have a very ugly cupboard, and I don't want to see the audience in the ugly background. This is a kind of my feeling that I want to show the people only that what they have to see, and that is in the moment it's you and me, and not an ugly background. You know that.
But yeah, your videos are amazing. So what do you like to what are common endodontic problems that you think a lot of people struggle with that you're trying to teach and teach through your videos?
In the moment, the biggest problem I see is the one file endo. The one file endodontics that propose that you can do endodontics with one file. This is wave one, this is reciproc, and that great files. I don't want to minimize their impact, but I never made it to make an endodontic treatment with one file. I'm not able to do that. And I know many colleagues that are also not able to do that. And I think that's a big problem in the moment because this one file endo thing is a thing that is misleading somehow the beginners because you are endodontics is a very difficult thing because every tooth is difficult, every tooth is different, and you have to deal with narrow canals, you have to do with curved canals, you have to do with unusual anatomy, and you have to find out with your hand files where you are going. And this is from the corporates, I would say. This is misleading the beginners, and they try to do it with one file and they will fail. This is my opinion, and I'm not able to do this with one file. I'm not able to do that because I need path files, I need hand files, I need in lower molars, the mesial lower molar canals, I need hand files because they are curved, they flowing together, and you have no chance to solve that with one file. So that is my thing in the moment where I do a lot of videos. I didn't make them online in the moment, but this is a great problem for me and for others.
It reminds me of that very funny movie that came out 10 years ago or more, Something About Mary, where this guy says, I'm gonna come out with a video 6 minute abs, and the next guy said I'm gonna come out with 5 minute abs and then 4 minute abs, and it's just a common marketing that they're probably trying to get rid of less and less files. What file system do you like?
I like the profile file system, the ProTaper, and the Reciproc. That's the three ones that I use. And hand files, K
Pro.
files
So it was.
especially.
Are those all Tulsa Dental products? Pro Taper, Profile,
ProTaper is Dentsply, Profile is Dentsply, and Reciproc is VDW.
EDW,
We DW. We
WeDW.
we yes.
Yeah.
It's a German thing.
Huh.
But
Can you find
yeah,
that on the what's their what's their website? www dot
we DW minus dental.com. It's
w
a we.
e oh w yours we is w
No. You have a we, you have a D, and you have a W.
oh
And
d
minus dental.com.
dw minus. So dw is that's German and is we. You pronounce that
No, no.
we.
So we is Um,
Sorry about
so
that.
this is a
Oh, O V. Okay.
we WeDW.com.
Huh. You gotta go to. You gotta put a WW in front.
So here, WeDW.com.
BDW. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I guess when you were
WeDW-dental.com.
okay, I have not heard about that company, so I'm imagining that thousands of dentists listening to this in the United States have not heard of it. Tell us about BDW minus or what do you
Dental.
call that hyphen VDW hyphen dental.com. Tell us about their this German company.
Also, WeDW.com is a very famous German company which produced the reciproc files. This is similar to the Dentsply Wave one, but they have a similar working, and they have a different taper. This is different. They are different files. They're working with the reciproc movement, as Mr. Jared did make it in a few years ago, but he did it with the Pro Taper. And the reciproc movement has some very great advantages because file break very easily, especially the NiTi files are very prone to break without that they say to you, okay, I will break in a few minutes. So the NiTi files are very sensible to breakage. So the reciproc movement is one that they don't turn a 360 degree. They turn 2/3 in forward and 1/3 backwards. So they don't reach the critical bending of damage. So they won't break as easily as other files. So that's the reciproc idea. I hope I explained that right.
You explained it very well. Stefan, in the United States, Dentsply's Tulsa Dental Products just
Okay.
is just so huge. I had never even heard of this. I wish you would make an online course for Dentaltown using this reciprocating file that
Mm.
alternates between clockwise and counterclockwise motion.
Yes.
That might be very interesting. If you put that if you did a course on that at Dentaltown, I'm sure the company would appreciate it, and
Okay.
I'm sure most dentists this would be that on Dentaltown, it'd probably be the first time they've ever heard of this file.
That is surprising for me because VDW is a large German company, but I didn't know that it is unknown in the States. I know that the Dentsply is Tulsa Dental in America, and they have the Wave One file. It works similar. It is the same procedure. It is the same thing that you have to make this counterclockwise and clockwise rotation. But in my hands, I tried both. In my hands, the reciproc from VDW works better. Don't ask me why. This is only a. If you ask endodontists what file do you need, what file do you use, they have their preferences, and they have their personal preferences because they tried a lot, and I tried a lot, and for me as a traditionalist. I would say the profile, which is a very old system that came out 1969, is for me the best system today, and with in combination with other files and hand files, the profiles are not so easily to break because they are forgiving a lot of failures that you make as a dentist with your um, root canal treatment. And I think it is a very great thing, and it is still on the market. You have seen so many file systems on the market, and they vanished, or they are unknown, or they are seldom used. But Profile, for my opinion, is even today the best file system I can imagine, because it is forgiving so much fallacy that you do as a dentist.
I also see on just like Tulsa Dental Products, I see that they also have a gutta percha obturator on a carrier.
Yes.
Do you like gutta percha on a carrier for obturating too, or do you use?
Okay. Okay, years ago, I used the old system, which has a resin core and was covered with gutta percha. The modern product from Dentsply is gutta percha, which has um, a smoother gutta percha on the outside and a harder gutta percha on the inside. So you can lead the the gutta percha into the canal that you have a likewise behavior like you do with the vertical compaction. But I don't use it anymore. I haven't tried that one with the hard gutta percha cone till now, because on in 2011, or yes, it might be 2011, I changed to vertical compaction, like Schilder lectured it, and I never would use any other thing because it has so much advantages, because you can control your pressure, you can control the gutta percha, you can control everything, your taper, and you can control how much pain you will make to the patient. Because if you push this core with the gutta percha into the canal with one gutta percha core, you haven't got the pressure control that you avoid the overfilling of the canal, the overpressing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have very good control about the filling of the gutta percha, and this is a great advantage that Schilder described in 19, I don't know, between 60 and 70, I don't know exactly, but Schilder was just such a genius. What he developed and what he thought about the root canal anatomy, and the principles about pressure and fluid and something like this, it was amazing. Really, if you read the original article of Schilder, it will widen your eyes if you have a passion for endodontics.
He was an amazing man, Herbert Schilder. Um,
Yes.
so you have YouTube videos on this warm gutta percha compaction.
Yes, I have some videos of this warm compaction of the warm gutta percha, and there are some tips also, because if you push down the gutta percha with your plugger, um, you have to hold the pressure for an amount of time, because gutta percha has there will some compaction of the gutta percha when it cooled down. So you have to hold your plugger long enough that and you won't release your pressure before the gutta percha has cooled down. And then you can confirm that the form that the gutta percha will take of the canal will be the same of the canal anatomy. I hope I explained that okay,
So,
because my English is.
no, no, I think your English is amazing. I mean, I could not, if you were interviewing me in German, I could not say one word. I don't know one word of anything. I know a little bit of Spanish because I live about 100 miles from Mexico, and
Okay.
about 25% of my patients speak Spanish as a primary language. So I know a little bit of Spanish, but I just find it amazing. I did not know when you were telling me we DW, when you were saying we, I was thinking WE. But so in German, a V is pronounced we.
It's V.
It's what?
V. It pronounced in Germany, it is V.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When you were saying we DW, I was thinking you were doing WEDW. I didn't know you were saying VDW. But yeah, I think that's interesting. I'm just so amazed that I'm sitting here at 12 o'clock noon on a Friday, and you're
Yes.
all the way in Kiel, Germany. What time is it
Yes.
there?
It's 19, it's about 8 o'clock p.m.
8 p.m. I just think that's so cool. And where is Kiel? Kiel, Germany. Is that?
Oh, okay, that's northern Germany. That's about 100 kilometers above Hamburg.
Yeah, my favorite dental convention in the world. I go to Cologne, Germany every other year
Yes.
to the
Okay.
what is it called? The
IDS. The
IDS,
IDS. Yes.
International Dental. What's
Yes. I
yeah.
missed that last year because I I wanted to film some microscope companies, but I have a yes from Global. I had a yes from um, uh, from Zeiss, but they didn't have some Zeiss didn't had some people that can do the interview. So I had a yes from two companies for microscopes, and so it wasn't interesting for me because at least I would might have 4 or 5 companies to be comparable. So filming is also always a thing that you are believable. Okay, that you don't know. Okay, he is a size man or he is a global man. He does only advertising for Zeiss or he is advertising for global. I wanted to have at least 5 or 4 microscope companies that I could have been interviewed, but they it was not possible. So maybe next year, 2017, there's the next IDS in Cologne.
Yeah, that will be that'll be IDS International Dental Show, right?
Yes,
Cologne. And the
yes,
next one is March 21st to the 25th is 2017, or
yes.
March 12th to 16th in 2019. It's the most amazing show, and it's so I love Germany. I mean, it is compared to the United States, it is so much more cleaner and organized, and I love the train system. I mean, you can
Okay.
just when I don't know, you probably don't know this because you live in Germany, but when you come from the United States and you buy your IDS ticket, that 5 day ticket for the dental show is a train pass,
Oh,
and
okay.
they'll even put you in first class. And I just got to say one thing: they'll always see your ticket and they'll say, "Oh, you get to go to the fast, expensive train," and you don't want that because it's a lot faster, but it's all
Yeah.
you're going 100 miles an hour and you can't see anything, and you're in a lot of tunnels. I like to
Yeah.
use my pass on the low cost old trains that are
Yes.
slow and winding by the rivers, and it is
Okay.
so scenic and beautiful. And when you try to get on those trains, the Germans are always trying to help you, saying, "Oh no, no, no! You have a first class ticket. You can go on the really fast train." And I'm like, "I don't want a fast train. I want to see the country and see everything." And it is so cool. I mean, God, you could,
So
yeah.
if you live in if you would live in Germany, you would have experienced some problems with our train system because the Deutsche Bahn, the German train rail, isn't as punctual as we liked it because they are always late. They are late to come into the train station, and they are late to receive the other train stations. And this is a great problem for the German train system because they are always late. I as I made my curriculum for the DGET, that is the German Society of Endodontology and Traumatology. I was forced to go from Kiel to Düsseldorf um, once a month, and I always came too late. I always came too late back, and the best thing was with the train that it had a stop about 2 hours on a train station on a gate because one of the wagons in the middle were broken. So they had to change them, but they didn't change them. They removed this wagon and put the other wagons together, and the other passengers had to make this one to have place. So I this is not all is very organized in Germany, but the most.
Well, I think it's I've been to 50 countries. I think it's the most organized country on earth.
Okay,
I mean, I
okay.
don't I think it's more high tech, more organized. I mean, when you go to Germany, you think of Mercedes Benz, and when you go to America, you think of Chevy. And it is and in
Chevy
America,
is not a bad brand. When I see a Chevy here in Germany, I say, hey, a Chevy.
but but in America, some cities have a subway system or a local train system,
Yes,
but we don't have one for the country. In America, you would have to be at an airport, and the airports are 10 times
yeah,
crazier in America than
yes,
the German train system. I mean, canceled flights, and I mean it's just the weather
yes.
changes. It's a crazy system.
Okay.
So I want to go back to your YouTube videos because if you're listening to me right now and you want to see some not only amazing endo but just videos so like you feel like you're sitting inside the tooth, talk about
Mhm.
what are your most famous most viewed YouTube videos, and why do you think they were viewed the most? Do you think it was the case selection, the problem you were teaching? What are your most viewed YouTube videos, and why? What were you teaching, and why do you think they were the most popular?
Okay, I have some YouTube videos that are seen most than others. I don't know why exactly because I do always the same, but it is different because I have YouTube videos that are made for patients, and I did YouTube videos that are made for colleagues. And it is messed up a little bit on my YouTube channel, and this is a great disadvantage because I try to change that, but it's a matter of time to make a different YouTube channel only for patient. I have three YouTube channels in the moment. One of my praxis, one of my education videos, and one of my cooking videos. But this is another story. So I think the patient videos in the moment have more viewers than that from the colleagues. But there are a few that have more views from the colleagues. I don't know exactly why. Um, you, I tried to figure out why they are have more views with the YouTube analysis and where they come from. And the most viewers from the educational videos come from India. And I think India is a very great country, and they are very, very, very dedicated to they want to learn, they want to learn from others, and they want to be better than others. And this is this is a great advantage from the Indian people, that they want to learn from the ones that know how to do it. And also with maybe you remember Rui Pereira de Costa. This is a Portuguese colleague. He made in the beginning of 2015. He made the first Endo Congress in online. Do you remember?
Yes.
So, and he also told me that a lot of people, a lot of online viewers came from India, and I think this is kind of a market, because YouTube videos are nice and is cool, but on the other hand, you don't earn any money with it, with that YouTube videos. If you want to have, and now I come to online education. Online education is, for my opinion, is the future. Not only because it is available 24/7, but it is a thing that you can reach the world with it. Not only India, you can reach Russia, America, Mexico, whatever, South America. There are so many people that want to learn, but they can't, because they can travel. They are not able to travel worldwide, like the other colleagues do it, and maybe they can't pay the fee for for a live course or a hands-on course or whatever. So online education is a really thing that the future will show. But on YouTube, okay, you get some clicks and you get a little bit of advertising from YouTube, and you get 1 cent or 2 cents or whatever. That isn't the amount that you have to earn when you do online education professionally. Because, hey, it is not only the time that you stand for the camera, because you have to prepare your lecture. You have to sort out some pictures. You have to do videos and something like that. And when you make a 1 hour lecture, you want to earn a little amount of money to compensate your time. So the only way for me in the moment is, and this is a trial, to make it on Vimeo. Vimeo has the possibility that you can sell your videos for any amount of money you want. That begins from 99 cents and ends wherever you want. So, and if you can if you can make the people know that you have the lecture online on Vimeo, and they have to pay $3, $5, $10, whatever, and then they are able to see it, to click on it, and to pay $10. That's another thing, instead of traveling to wherever. And then you have to pay your accommodation, you have to pay the flight, you have to pay your how do I say it? If you are not in your office, you lose money every hour. An average practice, an average office will have costs about $200 to $300 an hour. So if you are, extreme example, you come from Australia and travel to Germany, the traveling time is 2 days at least, because you have to stop in Asia, and then you go to Germany and then go back. So that's 4 days. So you have 1 day of lecture, even you lecture yourself or you attend any lecturing. So you have 5 days. 5 days. Average cost per hour for your office hour is $200. This $8,000 for 1 week. So $8,000. additional to that, you have to pay your accommodation, and you have to pay the flight, and you have to pay your meals and whatever. That may be $10,000. So if you can spend $10,000 for a week of 1 day lecture, it's okay. Congratulations, but I can't. So I think this is a very great advantage of online education, because you go to this screen and you will hear what they say. And Rupert da Costa made it on the point, and he made it 1 week, and we had, I don't know exactly, but 20 or 30 lectures on different topics. It's mostly endodontics, but you haven't the you were not forced to travel, and you paid nothing, and you paid afterwards when you wanted to see it outside of the congress time. And this was $250 for all that 40 lectures. That is ridiculous.
What year was that?
Ridiculous.
What year was that?
I was I have also lectured one of those things here from Rupert da Costa. What have I done? I did about, oh, okay, ultrasonics in endodontics. So I had 1 hour, a 1 hour lecture. So all lectures were 1 hour long, and these are 40 lectures. That's 40 hours for nothing, or $250 without traveling. You have to be on your family. You not have to leave your family.
Is that on a web?
And
Is that on a website right now? I mean, could one of the
no,
view?
it's no, it's over. It's over. It was in March, when I remember right, and you have to subscribe to the online congress, and then you were able to subscribe for the recordings. But the
What's
time
the
is over.
what's the web? What was that website though?
Oh,
www.
I have to figure out that I can send you, because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Email me that website.
yes, I do that. I will
Um,
do that. And but I saw on Facebook that other colleagues will copy that in the next future, and they also will do online congresses. Not in the case that you see the audience and you lecture in front of on the stage, but there are lecturers. They pre-record they lecture their lecture for an hour or so, and then it will be shown on a paid basis or an unpaid basis. Okay, Rupert da Costa had made it online, live for nothing. And then if you wanted to see the recordings, you had to pay amount of money, but the maximum was $250. That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Please email me that. I think
Yes,
they
that.
and the other thing, traveling around the world, I've met so many dentists in Africa and India and China, and they just love this because it's just such a low cost way. And I'm always telling dentists, why are you going to a weekend course that costs several $1,000s
Yes,
when on an online course you could have learned it for $18 sitting in your own
yes,
home without a plane ticket. I'm
yes.
going to switch to another change in dentistry.
Okay.
Um, um, I think one of the overlooked things are these fiber posts. When I was in
Mhm.
school in the 80s, it was all metal posts, para posts.
Okay.
You're seeing more and more research on fiber posts. What are your thoughts on fiber post?
Fiber posts in the front tooth region. Fiber posts in the front tooth region are very, very have very much many advantages because of the colorizing. Because if you put a metal core in a tooth, you will always see this metal through the root. If your gingiva will diminish a little bit, you know, and then you have this dark root and they have to bleach that or whatever you have to do. There, it is better to do in when you do the root canal treatment. Then you have to bleach this tooth a little bit because if the root canal problem is a little bit older, you will see that the tooth has a little bit. Hey, what's that?
My cat Mamimi gets mad when I stare at you on his screen and
Okay.
not give her any attention. So sorry
Oh,
about that.
okay. No problem.
Just pretend it's a fiber post.
I love cats.
Oh my gosh, I got two of them. I'm one of those crazy cat people. But oh, I can't believe you sit there looking at the screen. How
But
funny. So now you have to
but you
lecture to me and Mamimi.
but you don't publish cat videos on YouTube, don't you?
There's the official cat video.
Hey,
Hey, say
well,
hi.
what a nice. This is a very, very, very nice cat. Can I
So
see the face again?
here's say hi,
Oh,
Mamimi.
isn't it nice? I like it.
And you say hi,
I like
Stefan.
this cat. I like this cat.
So
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 fiber posts.
fiber
So
post.
if okay, so fiber posts. The problem with fiber posts are that you always have to be in mind to have in mind that your fiber posts have a little bit thicker than in my opinion and in my experience have to be a little bit thicker than you would use with a Titan post. Because I have seen a lot of cases where the fiber posts broke. And then I have to figure out, okay, why did they broke? Because they are stiff. You can break it with a hand or with a I don't know the word now. Sorry. But you can break it. So, but the mouth is able to break it because the mouth has a very, very large amount of force when you bite things. So, you have to have in mind that if you want to use a fiber post, you have probably use a bigger one in the front tooth or in the molar region, because the forces that your jaws are able to make are are extreme, and I think you won't underestimate the force that they are able to do. So in the lower molar region, if I have to put to place a post, I tend to make Titan posts. In the front region, I tend to make to place fiber posts, but bigger ones. And that isn't a great disadvantage because if you know that the root canals on the front teeth are always big, then it is not such a problem to place a big fiber post.
And what type of fiber post? Which brand do you like and use the most?
So I always I now the German company comes again. That's VDW
Okay, so they make
because
those too.
yes, because they have fiber posts that when you cool them down, they change the color. So if you ever have to remove such a fiber post, you can cool them down and you can differentiate them from the tooth, from the dentine. They change the color if you cool them down, and this is a real. This is a great advantage, and I don't know if any other brand has this advantage.
Which one? I see they have quartz fiber post, Permatex post, Permador post, Permatex, Permador instruments. Are you talking about
That's
the quartz
that's
fiber post?
let me see. I see DC light. Let me see. Wait a minute. www.ydw. dentaltown.com. Let me see. Wait a minute. Root canal drawing obturation. Post endodontics.
I love the website talking about the history of the fiber post. The history of the root canal fiber post begins in 1983 with Lavelle and continues with Duret Renaud, who in 1988 invented the composite
Mm-hmm.
post system, which incorporates carbon fibers and an epoxy resin matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you're mostly using those in anteriors.
Yes. So that is DT Illusion XROSL, the quartz fiber post with patented color on demand. Try, test it, and I don't. Can I send you a link anywhere?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Maybe here on. Oh, okay. On Skype. Yes, here I can see.
Oh no, you,
Wait
you
a minute.
you just email it to me after the interview.
Wait
That
a
would
minute.
be
I sent you the link via Skype, and
okay.
maybe you can see that. I sent you the link for it. And this is the kind of fiber posts I use most because I have the possibility, the opportunity. If I really have to remove this post in case, I cool them down and I know, okay, they will change the color and I can exactly distinguish which is dentine and which is the fiber post, and then can I remove it.
So if you go to vdw-dental.com, that post is actually made by another company. Is it made by rtddental.com? Is that why they call it DT Illusion?
DT Illusion, yes. I don't know exactly because I think it is made by VDW. Um, but yes, DT Illusion XR.
So how come do you use these in posterior molars for post buildups, or using traditional titanium or metal?
Yes, in molars I use traditional titanium.
And
I
why
use
is just because it's stronger?
yeah, it's stronger, in my opinion. That's my experience that the fiber posts have a tendency to break. Um, if you don't choose a really big one. In the front tooth, it's not so the problem because the pulp, the canal is naturally big in the front tooth. So, but in the molars, um, you don't always have a big space for it. So I tend to use titanium posts if I have to. I seldom use them because I think there is a different discussion about the post. Have I to do a post in a endodontic treated molar or front tooth, or haven't I? So the tendency is not to use any post at all.
I want to talk
But
about. I want to switch gears to magnification. What percent?
okay,
What percent of the root canals that you do you use a microscope?
every root canal.
And if to these dentists that you're talking to, do you think if it's worth buying a microscope, and do you think it is worth the investment, and do you think how much better would their endodontic success be if they bought a microscope?
Mhm. Okay, I understand the question. Um, First of all, there is a discussion about, do I have to use a microscope to do an endodontic treatment? I would say, if I wouldn't have a loop, other, if you don't use a loop and you don't use a microscope, it might be heavy because with the naked eye, I am not able to do an endodontic treatment anymore. I use a loop, I use a microscope, and I use the microscope as often as I can, and especially in the last years, I use it always, and I can't do it without because you know Forrest Gump, the film.
Yes.
Yes, okay, and he said life is just a box of chocolates, and you never know what you're gonna get. I would change that quote a little bit and say a painful tooth is like a box of chocolate, and you never know what is inside. So every tooth has to tell you a story. Is able to tell you a story, and but you have to see it. If you open a tooth and you have a naked eye, you will see blood and a little bit of nerve tissue or whatever. But the tooth is telling you a story. And this story you can only see and read if you read the root anatomy. And you can only read the anatomy, in this case, with at least loupes or a microscope. Because you have ways that lead you to the canal entrances. And you often have teeth with obturations, with denticles, with calcifications or whatever. And you are not able to find any canal because you can't read the structure of the tooth without a loop or without a microscope. The tooth will lead you to the right position where the entrances are. And this is what this special tooth will tell you. It will tell you a story, its own story. You will see calcifications and you will see, okay, this tooth had a long history or a short history. Does it blood like hell, or is it dead? Does it blood anymore, or whatever? And so you can change your treatment. And you will only see that with magnification. This is my opinion, my special opinion. And this has to do with, I would say, passion. Endodontic treatment is some sort of passion because you have a little bit crazy to do that.
What microscope do you have, and do you mount it on the ceiling or do you wheel it into the room? What is the brand name, and how much does something like that cost?
Okay, I have a global microscope. This is American brand, a US brand, a very common brand in the US, and it's a very, very good microscope in my hands. Zeiss is the Mercedes, okay? The BMW, the Jaguar, the Bentley, or whatever. But global is, I would say, a VW, a very good VW, and then they come the others. I have chosen a global microscope because of its what is the return of investment of this global microscope. What can I afford? And it has a very good optic, it has a very good light, and it has a very good ergonomics. It is not a wheel-driven microscope because a wheel-driven microscope is always a thing that you have to move around. This is not good. If you want to have a microscope, then make it on a floor stand or you fix it on the ceiling. In my opinion, I had made a failure in the way that I fixed it on the floor. I had better fixed it on the ceiling, because if anybody moved around, you will see these vibrations on the microscope. That's not a problem while you are treating a root canal, but it's a problem when you want to make a video, or even if you want to make a photograph. So if then there is moving around your assistant or the patient, he's always moving around, then you have some vibrations on your optics, and this is not so good.
So
So
do you have one or do you have two? Do you work
Um, okay,
one
we have a
one?
small. I have a small office. I share it with my wife. We are working together. That's a great thing because we have time for our kids. We share our time. We are. I'm not a full dentist. My wife is not a full dentist, so we share the time. So we have time for our kids. My son is 15 years old now. My daughter is 11 years now. So, but we have to have an eye on the homeworks. You know what I mean?
So is she an endodontist too?
No, I'm a general dentist, in fact, but I do 60 or 70% endodontics. But she makes aesthetic dentistry, very, very nice aesthetic dentistry. I couldn't do that on the front teeth. You can't see anything. She is an artist, is an artist about front teeth with resin fillings. I never have seen that, and I couldn't do that. And she do paintings with in former days. She's an artist. She
Does,
was an
does she,
dental technician. Had an um, she was a dental a technician before she made the study with dentistry.
does she use the microscope for her cosmetic work?
No, but loops.
She wears loops. Okay. I wanted to switch to another topic. You're mostly talking to Americans, even though each one of my shows is watched by pretty much every country on iTunes. But I'm just wondering, the German market as different than the American market. When your patients come and get a root canal, what percent of them have insurance from their employer? I mean, do they have insurance from their employer that's paying for 80% of this root canal, or do they not have insurance, or is the
Hmm.
insurance from the government?
Hmm.
Talk about payment.
Okay, so the payment is divided into in three categories. So they have the state insurance that covers the basic dentistry, the very basic dentistry. You get metal crowns without any ceramics on it. You get a very cheap root canal treatment, which covers the very basic of root canal. You know, not any microscope, not any ultrasonic, not any electro length measurement or something like this. So, and then there are the second category that are patients that are not in the state insurance. They have a private insurance. That's another companies. So they will be they will have paid their treatment almost totally. If it is root canal or crowns or bridges or prosthesis or periodontology, whatever, they will have almost paid it on their from their insurance companies. And then we have a third class. Um, they have the insurance from the state, from this general insurance system, but they also have an additional insurance which covers either implants or crowns or bridges or prosthesis. And the modern insurance things are that these companies will cover your tooth cleaning, your root canals, your resin fillings, and something like this. So we have three categories in the moment. The one that are paid only from the general health system, the one that private that are in a private insurance, and that ones that are in between these both. You
So
know,
what?
it's a little bit complicated.
Right. So what percent of the Germans have some form of dental insurance versus they just come in with no insurance and pay only cash like they would for a car?
Okay, no one. No one comes with no. In Germany, it is almost not possible to be not inside in any type of insurance.
So everyone has insurance.
Everyone has an insurance because you are forced to have one.
Okay, so I have two more international questions. Some Americans say that there are some European countries banning the use of mercury in silver fillings. Is that true or false? What's the status of mercury in Europe?
Okay, I can't tell you in Europe as an whole, but I can tell you from Germany. In Germany, we still use silver amalgam fillings. It is still in use. It is the preferred filling from the general health system. So, if you want to do any kind of filling of the molars, um, the general health system says, okay, amalgam is sufficient. Why don't you use amalgam or cement or whatever? So if you want to use resin, you always can do that. But in the last 10 or 15 years, the general health system has was willing to pay a very basic resin filling. That means enamel etching that don't mean dentine adhesive fillings.
What what
So
what what percent what percent of the dentists in Germany still occasionally or place an amalgam versus what percent don't even have it in their office, would you say?
I don't know. I don't have it. I don't use it anymore. I don't use silver amalgams anymore. But I can. Many. I would say many of them will use amalgam. Will still use amalgam, silver amalgam.
What
Um,
percent would you guess?
50, 60. I don't know
Okay.
exactly.
And then my last question, because we're past our hour, we're one
Okay.
minute overtime. One more question. Does Germany use community water fluoridation? Does Germany adjust the fluoride in the water to prevent decay, or not so much?
No, no, we are not. It is not common to use fluoride water in the water system because this is against the self. How do I explain that? Um, Let me begin in another way. It was in discussion that the community water would have been fluorided. But some people or many people have been against this because they don't want to be. Um, this is difficult to say. It is about the self-willing. They don't want to be fluorided, so they have to. They have gone to the judge, and they made a referendum, and so it was not able to make this community fluoridation of the water like in Switzerland. So, but what
So Switzerland has water fluoridation,
yes,
but Germany does
yes,
not.
yes.
So was it taken out of all the waters in Germany? I mean, is Germany all
There's
non-adjusted,
no chloride and there's no fluoride in the water.
but Switzerland does?
Switzerland, as far as I know, yes, it does.
And I'm sorry, I can't help but ask it, even though I'm way over time. Did Germany also just recently ban the use of nuclear energy? Um,
Yes, almost. But this is a very difficult. This is a very difficult thing because um, they want to ban the nuclear energy in Germany, and they almost done it. But the The bad thing about that is if you have in Germany not enough electrical power, you have to buy it from your neighbors and they produce with nuclear energy. So what is the sense about that? So, but we are developing wind parks out of the sea, in the Baltic Sea, in the Northern Sea. And but there are people against that because those propellers will disturb the natural environment of the fish. It is like it is. You can do what you want. It is always false. It is always not right. You can say, I don't want to have nuclear energy. I don't want to have to pollute my environment. I want to have green energy, but anybody will be against it because of whatever. So you have to fight against giants and something against dwarfs, but you have to fight anything, anytime against anybody.
I,
So
I,
that's life.
I took my boys on a Baltic cruise, and I was amazed. I was going around Sweden and Finland and Norway, and we went into Germany
Yes.
and Russia, and I was amazed at how much wind power there was. I mean, I was reading
Yeah.
that some of those countries are 30% of their electricity comes from wind. I mean, it was
This
amazing.
is not a
And this
it's
lady
not a
was,
bad idea.
and this
That's
lady,
not a bad idea to make this with wind or with water or with solar energy. So if you imagine you go to the desert, anywhere in the desert, and you have solar panels, I don't know what um, kind of desert, what amount of desert you need, but I think you can feed the whole world with electrical power if you invest in the desert, in the sun. I
well,
don't
hey,
know.
Stefan, I just want to tell you, I think it's an honor that you chose to spend an hour with me today talking to all my
Yes.
townies. That is just amazing. If
You're
you have,
very welcome.
I really hope that, I started a thread and I posted two of your YouTube videos.
Okay.
I wish you would post them all because it would be, it'd be such, I mean, they're just so well done. They're so outstanding. I'm a huge fan of yours. I know
Thank you.
so many of the greatest endodontists I know are huge fans of yours. And
Okay,
it's
thank you.
not only are you doing amazing endo, but you're filming it just like a movie star. I mean, it's just amazing what you do. I mean, really, it really
Thank
is.
you.
And if you're listening
Thank
to
you.
this, and if you're listening to this, go on YouTube and type in Stefan, Stefan Klinge, Klinge. In fact, I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel. So if you go
Thank
to
you.
Stefan Klinge, you can subscribe to his YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube and you're on Dentaltown, go to the Endo section. And I started a thread with some of his YouTube videos. So if you clicked any of those videos, then you can subscribe to it once you click the play button. But Stefan, thank you so much for spending an hour with me today.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
Bye
Have a
bye.
great day. Bye bye.
Have a great day. Bye bye.
It is a huge honor to bring back a previous podcast, Dr. Stefan Kling. Did I
Thank
say
you.
that right? That Kling?
Klinge.
Klinge,
With
which in English means a blade.
yes.
But we did a podcast with you, and you had so much you didn't want to cover. I don't even want to interview. You're coming back for a second. Should we release these one after the other? Yeah, we'll release these back to back. So
Okay.
Happy New Year's to you.
Happy New Year.
And go ahead and you have your talking points. I'll try not to interrupt you.
Okay.
Present what you wanted that we didn't get time to cover on our first podcast.
Oh, okay. So I'm very happy to see you again, Howard, and we lost a little bit on time space on the last podcast because there is an important thing I want to tell the dentists all around. Because I'm not only an endodontologist, but also I have a great dedication to practice marketing and corporate films. So corporate films for dentists. This is in Germany. In Germany, it is it is quite a new thing because, you know, about 50% of all physicians and dentists haven't got an office website. They do not have a website, and it is a great effort to talk to dentists and say, hey, you have to have a website. And when I come and they and say, hey, you have to have a praxis film, then they don't understand why and what is the reason why I have a film when I even don't have a website. I don't need that. And the reasons are that especially the long-established offices think that they wouldn't have a demand for it, a demand for website or practice marketing, because the practice run from its own and for decades without any website and any marketing. But changes, and especially now in this modern times, the internet has has so much impact for any dentist, for any physician, so they can really make their practice run better with the help of websites, practice marketing, and even with practice films. And another reason is most of the office have enough patients, and the owner or the owners don't see any necessity to invest in marketing, because it is an investment. If you want to make a praxis film, it costs you $5,000 to $10,000, because you have to go there and you have to film the whole day, and the owners don't want to stop their treatment, so you have to go between the patients, or you have to film between the whole practice work, and this is a little bit difficult. So if I could decide, if a dentist come to me and say, hey, I want to have a practice film, I want to have a office film from my office, then I tell him, okay, please cancel all your patients, and we will concentrate on that. What you are the dentist, you are the chief, you are the owner, and the people want to know who you are. This is a great problem for the most dentists, also on the websites, because they all focus on their gadgets. They all focus on, I have a new CBCT, I have a new CAD-CAM milling machine, I have a new whatever. Patients don't want to know what you have for technical gadgets. They want to see what kind of person you are, in what kind of praxis office I come here. So another problem for the dentists to do a real practice management and websites, or to run a really good website, is that, at least in Germany, there are a lot of legal regulations. For example, the need of a site notice on your website. So there are many uncertainties and fears about cease and desist orders, because the dentists don't know how to build a website by its own. So they hire any kind of website people. They build the website for them, but the dentists, are responsible for all the content, and so there are a lot of uncertainties. So also. In Germany, I don't know how it is in USA or other countries, but in Germany, we have many restrictions in the past. What kind of information was allowed and has to be shown on the website? Dental associations, our dental associations, prohibited practice marketing and advertising for many years. So they don't wanted them. Still today, it was I think it was last year in our region, dentists were requested to sign a code of honor, um, not to advertise too excessively. So this is like in Germany, runs in Germany there is a lack of the understanding of what is practice management, what is practice marketing. And I think the problem is that there is a fear to establish a bad image to healthcare. So healthcare is nothing that you can buy. It is there, and you have an insurance company. You have a local health insurance system in Germany. So and a public health and insurance. Sorry, and most of the dentists and the associations have the meaning that there is no need for advertising. So, but the future is there, and the amount of dentists rise and rise. So I think there is a need, and you have to make any kind of practice marketing in the future. And I think that it is a very, very important message to all the dentists in Germany, but all over the world, that you have to show what you can, you have to show what you are, and you have to show why you are different to the others. I watched a few videos recently. Michael Burr, how to build a website, Charles Crawford and Batya Maman about social media. You can remember?
Yes.
So I think it was on the New York convention.
Yes.
Yeah. So Batya Maman said a lot of real true things about social media. And Michael Barr, I think he put the head on the nail. He just said dentists. If you ask a dentist what time it is, he will explain you how a clock works. So this is true. This is very, very true, and that made me laugh a lot, because I see that on every website in Germany, on the German dentists, how they want to explain what they do. The patients don't want to know what you exactly do in this situation.
Well, can I make one comment? Now, you
Yes,
said that the website has to show how you're unique or different than other
yes,
dentists.
yes,
I want to take a step back from that. Do you know how many dead people would be in living in Africa and Asia if the public health workers didn't, in fighting AIDS, if they wouldn't have gone in and utilized television and radio and
yes,
billboards? And when these people say that we should have a code of honor advertised to successfully, do they not understand we are trying to put out gum disease and dental decay and the psychologically devastating effects of edentulosum? And, the Germans wouldn't ask Porsche and Mercedes to stop advertising
no,
excessively. They would say, buy an ad during the Super Bowl, which is the most watched thing in America.
yes.
And we've got to get this crazy, sick views on anti-advertising, because at the end of the day, we're firemen putting fires, we're policemen catching bad guys, and the more we advertise, the more we're going to prevent dental disease.
This is my meaning also. But
I mean,
how?
in some of these countries in Africa, they were running 25% HIV contamination, and
Yes,
with radio and television and
yes,
billboards, they have knocked that back down to minuscule. And
yes, yes.
I mean, it's amazing how we don't apply the exact same advertising used to fight AIDS around the world and HIV to dental decay. I mean,
Yes.
most of our associations, I've never seen an advertisement on television from the American Dental Association. I've never heard a radio ad. I mean, do these people not realize that Americans are spending $105 billion a year at the dentist, and our goal should be to drive that to zero. I mean, our goal should be like polio, where one day they only read about dentists in the industry books.
Yes, this is true what you say, but the thinking is another. The thinking is as less advertising you do as a dentist, the less are the costs for the public health system, you know? So if you do not any advertising, so they mean the government mean that when you don't do any advertising, so the people don't know about any dentists, so they won't go there. So we have lower costs. It's all about money, and it is like it is. I can change it. You can change it. My colleague in the neighborhood won't change it. Change it. So, but we can change the thinking in the dentist's brain of making advertising as honest as possible. And that is my reason, as honest as possible, because patient want to know, hey, where do I come? Where do I go? To what person do I go? And is this the right dentist for me? And when a corporate video with a practice video, you can show yourself. And you can show your environment, and you can show your parking lots, your, I don't know, whatever. And you can show what kind of person you are. And this is my opinion, that in a corporate video, you haven't to show what CBCT you have, the newest one, the oldest one, whatever. But you have to show what kind of person you are. And then the people can decide, hey, this is a sympathetic kind of man or a human being. I want to go there because I like that there. I like the environment. I like the practice. I like the people that they are, and so on. So I think corporate video isn't that what we had in the last 10 years. If you think about corporate videos, you think about they show their buildings and their what they do, and they show what they sell and whatever. But as a dentist, you have to show you as a person. This is an emotion thing, because you are not very much steps away from filmmaking, and filmmaking isn't nothing else than tell a story. Tell your story, tell a story from a patient, tell a story from a colleague, tell a story from your assistants. Never mind, you have to tell a story, and it is like it is. If you make a video, you want to entertain people. And when you entertain people, you have to tell a story. If you have to tell a story, it has to be interesting for the people. This is for audience, for the viewer. And I think this is a great thing, that also the film industry that makes those corporate videos for dentists, but also the dentists haven't understand. Not now. And this is a great problem, because if you watch YouTube, you can go to YouTube and give in dentist corporate videos. And you see all these videos. You can change them. It's no difference. They're all the same. There is an establishing shot, you got the practice entrance, you get your assistants, and you get smiling assistants, you get your dentist, and he's doing something, but he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk to you. Why doesn't he talk to you? He has to talk. He has to tell a story. Not only pictures and a nice waiting room and a nice treatment room or a nice whatever, what room you have. You have to show yourself. But this is a problem, for not every dentist is kind of a entertainer, you know. So we are dentists, not actors. But you can learn this and say, okay, you have to know this dentist, and you have to go in his office, and you have to talk to them before you do any film. And then you see, is this dentist able to talk into the camera? Is it okay? When not, you have another opinion. You have you have another opportunity. You can make an explanation video. So he tells, or we tell something. What does? It could be a CCT. It could be implants. It could be a cat crown in one day, or whatever. But this is an explanation video where a narrator, which is not the dentist, talks about the procedure. This is also an information that the patients want to have. They want not to know how that works. They want to know what I get in the end of the day. A new crown in one day, and he explained it very well. I know beforehand what I have to do, or what he will do to me. Not the bloody things. Just a smile, just a rough overview over that you do with the patient, and this is enough. But the best thing is if you can show what person you are, and this is the most important thing why patients choose a dentist. That is a personal thing. This is an emotional thing. I have 2 or 3 colleagues that can endodontics like me. Why do the patients come to me? Not because I'm a great endodontist. There are 4 or 5 others. So there has to be not only the difference of what you do, but also the difference of how you I don't know the word. Sorry. How you how you will be seen from the audience, how you will be seen from your patients, and this has to be with empathy. Is a lot of 80% is empathy. 80%. If you can talk with your patient, if you can hear what your patient says, then this is 80% of your income. Sorry, but because you know that word to mouth is different, because we have the internet and you have this rating platforms. So this also is word of mouth marketing, but it lasts forever. If you have a bad rating on any rating platform in the internet, then it will stay there forever. When you can fight against it and say, I don't want that on this rating platform, you have a little chance that it will delete it. But this is also word of mouth. Many dentists are riding on this wave and say, oh, hey, rate me on the internet. No, and when they rate, and if they rate bad, so what can you do? It's a blade with 2 you know what I mean?
Sides.
Yes,
Yes.
a blade with 2 sides. It's a dark and a light region. So it has positive and negative things. But I want to come back to your website marketing and your practice marketing, because you have to have in mind, if you don't have any kind of website, if you don't have any kind of practice marketing, you will lose on the long run. You will lose. And others will make the money, because you will be forgotten. So we have 70% of patients are searching their dentists on the internet, on Google. 70%. And in Germany, every year, over 8 million of people are moving from one place to the other. So they don't know any person in the new town. So they have to search in any kind. So Google is the answer. So if you are not on the second side of Google, you're lost. And 86% of the people in Germany search for health topics and information in the internet. So most dentists are thinking that I don't need those patients that come in my praxis and in my office and say I have done a lot of research and I want to have that and that and that. I'm happy. I'm really happy when a patient comes in in my practice and says, "Hey, I read a lot about endodontics, and I want to have the best what you can do for me." So it's a win-win situation. I can say yes, I will do, but it costs you money. And he says, "Yes, I read about it on the internet." So it's great. Um,
What
an
percent of the Germans
yes.
did you say moved?
Sorry.
What percent of the Germans do you say move each year and need a new
That
dentist?
8 millions of people per year.
8
8
million?
millions? Yeah. So we have 80 millions
So
inhabitants.
10% move.
10%.
Yeah, and that's the same stat I see for where I live in Phoenix, Arizona. But I
So,
want to go back. You said that 80% of it is empathy. The
yes,
the patient, the possible future patient wants the empathy.
yes.
How do you get empathy across in a video?
Um,
Because once you can fake empathy, you've got it down.
yes. So this is the next point I wanted to say. You have to be authentic. This is the real thing that you have to be authentic because you only can transport that what you are. Um, People will see in a minute, in a second, if that what they have seen is that what they get when they step in your practice. An extreme example. I go to a dentist, and as a filmmaker, I can say him, make it so and so and so. Okay, so you are the director, and the dentist is an actor. So you say to the dentist, make it in this way. So that sells better, maybe. But I do I do not a great job when I do that because this is not authentic. That is not the real life. If I see this dentist is a he don't speaks too much. You know, the dentist that they say good morning, bye, have an appointment on the front desk. So you know that dentist. So but this is and when you tell in a practice film, in a corporate film, that he is different, what a kind man he is, and whatever. What this is not true. So you can't do that. I know a lot of films in the internet. They do like I described, and they are awful. They are so much films in the internet where you pay $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 for it, and it is rubbish. It is not worth the money. And
Now, have you heard of Dr. Alvarez or Alvarez in the United States? He's a firm in California where a lot of dentists go down there
okay,
and pay to have an hour interview with him, and I think
okay.
it's about 10 grand.
Mhm.
But you're saying, do those work or do those not really work, or what do you think?
It depends on how he introduces the dentist. If I would presume that dentists who want to do that are a little bit, I don't know what the word is, extrovert. You know what I mean?
Extrovert?
Yes, yes. So, and they can tell, they can speak, they have a natural aura. You know what I mean? So they are authentic. I don't think that any dentist who knows that he is not so a big speaker or entertainer, he won't go there. I don't believe that. So, but he knows he will do a bad job there. So, but if you look at Google and you see the search requests, you have to examine the search requests that Google has to work with. 5 years ago, you will have a typical search request like dentist Cologne, for example. So there's a dentist in Cologne. So, but now the search requests are much more difficult. Now they search dentist Cologne with a special town district for kids, phobic patients, open hours, and etc. So there are a lot of keywords that I come back to the website now, that you have to insert in your website, and you have to be aware of that, that you have to make your website make your website searchable with keywords, with the right keywords that fits on your practice. And if you have a practice film on YouTube, if you have an corporate video on YouTube and you have a website, so they playing with each other. If you have a video and you have a website, you will rise in the rank of Google. I think here, who was it? Charles Crawford. I watched the video with Charles Crawford. Said that if you have a video, if you have a website, if you have more of one website, then you will rise up in the rank of Google. So my strategy was, for my practice, have explanation videos, have 2 or 3 websites about endodontics, not only your practice website. Establish yourself as an expert in the internet, so the patients can find you. The patient have information about endodontics. The patient have not one website but 2 or 3, and so you have your practice website. You have you have a video website. I have 3 channels on YouTube. I have 1 channel for my practice and 1 channel where I explain endodontics. So, and this is, if you insert the word root canal treatment, in German Wurzelkanalbehandlung, or endodontics, in German Endodontie, so I will be on the first place in Google, German-wide. And this is because I worked with this a lot. Since 4 or 5 years, I do this on my own. This is self-education. I got this all from the internet. You can read it. You can read it. You can search it, and you can learn it. But it is, for the most dentists, time intensive to do that. So, and they hire some people. They do that for them, but they can't, because they are not dentists. So they have not the text, they have not the pictures, they have not the videos or whatever. So that is a lot of work, and practice marketing is work. Every day, every hour, every week, every year. If you think that you have a practice film and you put it on the internet and you are done, that's wrong. That's wrong. So you will dump your money if you do that as a one-time wonder. This is not the way to go. You have to work every time, every hour on your practice marketing, on social media, on for YouTube, for your website, for whatever, and then you will have then you will see that the patient will come to you. In my practice, I have over 50% patients that come from the internet. Over 50%. And they all have seen the videos.
Most endodontists get all their patients from referrals from general dentists,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Except that's the way with most specialists, except for a pediatric dentist. They get most of their referrals from pediatricians. But outside of pediatricians, most of your endodontists, what percent of other colleagues who don't advertise so much online, what percent of their patients would come only from referring dentists versus the internet?
I would say 80%.
And
80% come from the referrers.
And yours, you say, is 80%,
50%
is
comes
50%.
50% comes from the internet, 50% comes from
Wow.
referrals.
That's amazing. That's a 30% difference. That's a third of a practice.
Yes, because um, I worked a lot of it, and they have seen it, and they have seen. Oh, I always the problem is that that you haven't got the numbers. Is that most dentists don't ask where the patient come from. If they come from a referral, then it's clear. But if they have a new patient, then the first thing that I ask is, where do you come from? Why did you choose me? And in 80% they say, ah, I've seen it, I found you in the internet. So they are 10% maybe that come locally that say, oh, I have seen your practice here. It's nearby, and you have parking lots a lot, and there's a supermarket in the near or whatever, and the bus stops in front of your practice and something like this. But the most come, 50% come from the internet and say, I found you in the internet because you explained it so nicely. And so in Germany, the most patients want to know beforehand what they have to expect, pain or whatever. How long does it take to make a root canal or a crown or whatever? So I did, last year I did a film about how to make a dental crown. So I went to my dental technician and said to him, "Hey, we have to do a Saturday, and we have to do a whole crown. We have to do the whole procedure to explain the patient." So, and the next patient who comes and said, and I say to him, you need a crown. Oh, a crown, okay. I don't know if you know that, because some patients are thinking that you make an impression and tomorrow they have their new crown, if it is a regular one, if it is not CAD CAM or whatever. And so I think, go to my website, watch the film, and you will see what effort it is to make a crown in different ways. So, and much of the patients that come have seen any kind of my videos. I have a second video where I explain how caries disease arises. Okay, so what are the reasons for cavity? So many of them have seen that, and they say, "Hey, you have explained it so good, so good. Just even I have understand it, and I gave it to my friends." And this is the thing that the internet is where you have so much possibilities in the internet, because when you do a good film, it goes viral. So it will be shared. So my crown film in the moment has about 40,000 views, and this is amazing for a dental video. So you can imagine that.
That is very amazing.
So I think this is the right way to go. And corporate videos is not only that a camera team steps into the practice and films whatever, how you drill a tooth or whatever. So it has to do with it has to have a script. You have to have a right lighting. You have to have some sort of discussion beforehand. What you do, what you have to do, what you expect, and so the camera team has to work with you, not only for you. And this is a great difference. You see, I'm very dedicated to this topic.
You are, and you're outstanding.
So, oh, I have a nice thing that I want to say about advertising. There is a nice quote that I found in the internet 2 years ago, I think. William Wrigley said it. You know, that man with the chewing gums.
Right?
And he said about marketing. On a flight, Wrigley was asked by a reporter or by interviewer, why he continued to advertise so heavily when his product was already well known. So, and he answered, we now have reached our cruising altitude. Do you really want me to tell the pilot to turn off the engines now to save fuel? This is a great answer, and it describes advertising in total, because advertising is not a thing that you do at once and then never. Advertising is a thing that you have to work all day, all week, all year, and you have to do it again and again and again. And this is why the great companies like Coca-Cola or whatever, and they advertise, although they have a great marketplace, or Pepsi or whatever. So they advertise and advertise and advertise because they want to hold this altitude. And that's not possible when you stop marketing from one day to another. Then you will be forget. There's a German quote, wer nicht wirbt, stirbt. Who does not advertise will die. In English, it is not a rhyme, unfortunately. So, what have I on my script here? Okay, there is a great thing. We have to have in mind that people that are born after 1980 were likely digital natives. I read this term in the internet 2 weeks ago. Digital natives. They grew up with internet, and meanwhile, approximately every fourth of people in the 60s are used to search a new dentist via Google. This is the second thing I read 2 weeks ago. Every fourth of people over the 60s use Google to search a new dentist. This is amazing. And then you have to do your math. And if you are not what is the word? If you don't think then that you have to advertise your practice, then I don't know what has to happen. What more has to happen then? This is my opinion. But how do I tell that? Because you have wrote a book here. I was on the website, and there are so much quotes and statements from the colleagues. So you know all that. I believe. Okay, so yes, never forget that a video must entertain people, and this is, I think, if you do a practice video, you have to have in mind that the first 5 seconds, you put the play button, and the first 5 seconds are crucial. Will decide if the audience will watch the people or not.
The first 5 seconds?
The first 5 seconds. The first 5 seconds. So the internet is fast, and the delete button is nearby. And if they think that's not interesting, they push the delete button and you are off. The first 5 seconds. And you have to put your major message in the first 5 seconds. Or 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. That is difficult. It's really difficult.
And how do you think? What do you think the first 5 seconds should be like?
Oh, okay. So it is like a film. Okay, it's like a movie you watch in the theater. You go to the theater, and then you have an opener. The opener has to be exciting. The opener has to make you want to watch more. It depends what practice it is. It depends if you can do an establishing shot, if you have a nice environment, uh, I don't know, Santa Barbara, maybe. So you can make an establishing shot. So there are boats, there are seas, there's a beach or whatever. So or you have a nice park nearby, or whatever. It depends on what is the thing that stands out from the other practices. It is difficult if you make that in town, because in town they are all the same. You see houses, you see shops, you see whatever, and that's difficult. So you will not likely have an establishing shot in the town. You will have an establishing shot only there where you have a great environment, which is nice, which is pleasant, and which attracts people. So you can do in the town. You can do anything. You have to find an opener that is really exciting. So I saw a film from a practice in Berlin, and they did a film. It is, I think it's 1 minute. It's a teaser. It's just a teaser for their practice, and they do a boxing fight, and the opponent was a man with a beard and a cigar and tattoos and a t-shirt where was in great letters "Carriers." Okay? So, and the dentist was the champion. The champion was fighting then against the man with the Carriers t-shirt, which was awful, disgusting. The dentist was nice. He was styled. He has nice red gloves, you know what I mean? So that all was filmed in slow motion. He needs 3 punches and Carriers go down. So this is an opener. Okay, what I mean?
Now, do you think that opener should convey empathy?
Yes, it depends. So it is an extreme example, but because it doesn't fit to every practice. Those were authentic because they are like in the film. They are a little bit weird, I would say, but they have the patient that fits to them. And with this film, they get the people that fits to them. And this is a great point, that you have to do your film that you get the right patients. If you want a private practice, you can't do a film about public health service. That's not possible. So with a corporate video, you can transport the patient, what kind of practice that is. And the other thing besides that you attract people is that you don't attract people. And this is a good thing in some cases. So, but you ask about empathy. If you want this film what I talked about this boxer thing, isn't about empathy. That is only about the show. Okay? So if you want to step on the train with empathy, then you have to do that in a different way. You have to show the dentist. You have to show his dedication to dentistry, his dedication to patients, a personal story or whatever. It depends on the dentist. It depends on the practice. But you can do that the patients see, hey, this is a kind man, and he is an honest one, and I can trust him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, and this is the way you can do that. The ordinary way to do corporate videos will not be seen in the future anymore. The corporate video that we had decades ago, that's dead. Nobody want to see that. Nobody want to see that. And I see so much videos on YouTube in English, in German, in what language ever. They all the same. They're all the same, and they all copying the textbook how to make corporate videos that were published 10 years ago. This is nonsense, truly nonsense. You waste money, thousands of money. And this is the reason why I started to do that, because I say to my dentists, and I recently have made an explanation video for orthodontists, and I was from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. in his practice, and we filmed and filmed and filmed. He had scheduled special patients. They have oh, that's the point that I come to in a second. He has scheduled patients that fit for him, that fit for the cases he wanted to show, and were able to speak into the camera. So he did the choice of the patients beforehand. That was a great help. That was a really great help. And he himself was a dentist that can handle the camera. He was not shy from the camera. He was not afraid to speak into the camera. That was a great help. But you not always have such a luck, and you have to work with the dentist to make him trustful to the camera, that it is only a lens and some of computer parts. But a real important thing I want to give the dentist that watch that video is, if you ever want to make a corporate video, you have to do a model release contract. Imagine you make your film with your assistants. You invest $5,000 to $10,000 to it, and then 2 weeks later she quit the office. Okay. So and she says, I don't want to be shown in the film anymore because I don't work there anymore. So if you haven't got a model release contract, then you have to do you have a bad time to delete her from the film, and in some cases this is not possible to do that. So your film is ruined. You waste money, and you have to do a model release contract for your assistants, for your patients, for every person that is shown in such a video. If not, you risk money in a high amount, because they all have their rights to their own image.
I just want to point out, while you're looking for it, that your online CE course, Videography on the Dental Microscope,
Yes.
you know, you're talking about all of this stuff to make a endo video, but the same technology and knowledge could be used for your dental office website corporate video.
Yes, that's true.
That was an amazing course you put up.
Yes, because I also give a course how to make a practice video, how to make a corporate video for the dentist.
You already have that course?
I gave that course one time at the DGET, that was the German Society of Endodontology and Traumatology, this year in Dresden. And
could you put that up on Dentaltown? Could you put up another course on Dentaltown?
I can record that. It's no problem.
I would love to have that course, because that is amazing. Because your course was under endodontics or dental ergonomics.
Yeah, okay.
But this one could be under dental marketing for the dental office website.
Of course, but that have to be 2 or 3 videos, because it is a very large thing. You have, if you want to speak to film teams, this is impossible, because film teams, this is a film team, this is a cameraman, and this is a dentist. They don't speak the same language. The dentist want this and that, and the cameraman says, that is impossible. I can't do that. So in America, they wouldn't say I can't do that. It's different, but you have to speak the same language. So the dentists have to have just a basic knowledge about lighting, about cameras, about sensors, about sound, about framing and whatever, so that he can exactly describe what he wants. That I presume that the dentist know what he wants, and this is the next problem. But
So you'll make that online CE course for Dentaltown?
I
You're
can do
saying
it.
you're saying it'd be three different courses or three different videos or three different.
Three different videos. I have to
And
do
how
that.
long would each one be?
Every video would last an hour.
Oh, that would be awesome because that is just so important.
At least an hour. So I recently put an video online, how to make video online presentations and lectures on Vimeo. I sell them for 1.99. That's $2.18, I think, because it's only an overview. This is quite an hour long, and it is very interesting because it's an overview of all that. But if you want to present your lecture online, what you have to have in mind, this includes green screen, that includes PowerPoint presentation, this includes microphone, this includes sound and lighting and whatever. But it is only an overview. So there, I'm producing for further videos for it because it's a very large topic. So and then I will produce the videos for you. It's no problem. And if I like to do all the videos I wanted to do, I have to film every day. And I can't do any root canal anymore.
What do you like doing more, filming and website or root canals? What makes you have more fun?
Uh, oh, this is a difficult question. It depends on the day I have. So, and some days I want to do both of them and only doing barbecue all the day. This is
That's a,
this is my greatest pleasure. Yeah, on Christmas, the second eve, we had ribs, and the ribs were awesome. They were awesome. They were awesome. They were falling off the bone. They were right as I like it. It was only salt and pepper and a self-made barbecue sauce. But it was too much. I make 6 slabs, but we were only 5 persons. So I have frozen the other threes. So
very.
this is,
So
yeah.
how far away do you live from Cologne?
About 5 hours with the car or with the train.
5 hours away, huh?
Fa
So
fa
the next Cologne meeting is it
2017,
2017?
yes, because
Yeah.
it was this year. Yeah, it was this year in April, I think. Was it in April? I think
Mhm.
yes. I wanted to go there and do some filming for microscope corporations like Zeiss and Global and Leica and some others, but it doesn't work because only 2 of them, Global and Leica, no, Caps, Global and Caps, were able to give me an interview. So for two corporations, that's too big effort because you always have to defend yourself about being paid for it, you know. So nor either Global nor Caps would have paid me for that. And if I get size, they made a yes for me, and then they rejected, and the others. They hadn't no man where I could have speak to. That that makes no sense. So maybe in 2017 I come with my video cams and I do some interviews. So maybe I come to the booth of Dentaltown and we make an interview.
That would be very fun. That would be outstanding. But we are out of time.
Yes, I know. Thank
But
you.
I just want to tell you, I just think you're so amazing. And next time in 2017 when I go to Cologne, I want to. What city are you in?
Kiel, this is 100 kilometers above Hamburg.
So it's 100 kilometers above Hamburg. Now, was Hamburg? Is that where the hamburger was invented? Is Frankfurter where the hot dog was invented?
I don't know exactly. I don't know that the hamburger is a thing that was invented in Hamburg because I think it comes from ham, and this is and then the burger is the bun. You know that you have a ham and a
Oh, so
bun,
a
so
real
you have a
hamburger.
ham burger.
So a real ham is a real hamburger is made of pig then.
Yes, a hamburger is made. No, no, sorry. I think that the origin of a hamburger is not coming from the town Hamburg, but I can imagine that it has to do with ham and that burger that is commonly used maybe in any language or in any dialect in America to describe the burger bun. Could be, I
And what
don't know.
about Frankfurter? Is Frankfurter was the hot dog invented in Frankfurter because
Yeah,
we call it a Frankfurter.
yes, we have a Frankfurter, but we also have Wiener, and we have some other Würstchen sausages that have some names. So they were Thüringer. You know, they come from Thüringen. That is in the eastern of Germany, and we have Krakauer. They came from Krakow, I think. And I don't know why they call them Frankfurter or Wiener because they taste similar. They have just another form.
Well, I have to tell you, I do. I've told everybody a million times. I think Germany is one of the single greatest countries that ever exists. I mean, it is so clean and organized. The food is amazing. The technology is outstanding. The
Yes,
greatest dental companies in the world are all from Germany. You guys make the best cars, the best. You guys are just world class. But we're out of time, Stefan.
yes. Thank you.
I just want to tell you thank you for all that you've done for dentistry, all that you do for Dental Town. You're just my hero and my idol, buddy.
Thank you. And
All
I
right.
wish you a very, very nice year 2016. And I hope we meet us in 2017 in Cologne.
Okay. I'll see you there.
Thank
Okay. Bye
you. Bye
bye.
bye.